What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here. I am back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about goalie interference calls. Now, I've been talking about making this video for quite a long time, so now I'm going to finally do it. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. My social media is on the screen, so if you want to follow me on any of the social media platforms that I'm posting on the screen right now, please do so. Moved over a little bit to the side because I want to have room to be able to post the pictures that I'm going through. I don't have any video in this because I don't want to get any copyright strikes, because obviously the NHL and other platforms don't want you using video and stuff like that, which is completely understandable. But I've taken the time to go through, I have my laptop here in front of me so I can discuss it, seeing it, and you guys are going to be able to see it. I took screenshots and everything, and I went through and I found some goalie interference calls. We all know the NHL has been very controversial on this topic as of late, so I wanted to make sure I got my thoughts on it, because you guys know I'm not a big fan of this call, the way they've been calling it. I've made a video about this before, so it's on my channel if you want to check that out as well. This is not going to be a direct slam at just the referees. It's also on the going upstairs calls in Toronto. I'm going to be basically just saying how I feel about some of these calls. So the first one, I'm going to be giving an opinion on the Strome OT goal. So here's the thing. I'm going to try to give my thoughts and be as objective as possible. I'm going to try to make sure that I'm not just completely disagreeing with the league. I'm going to look at these and try to see what they're seeing. So the first picture you're going to see here is just the general coming across the crease. Now, this is obviously him going to try to put the puck in the net, and the puck is now a little bit away from his stick. Obviously, in that last picture, it was already starting to go away from him. But now he is going across the net, and you can see he starts to make contact with the Calgary goaltender in this next photo. But it's not, for me, I can see where they're going with this, but it's not enough where it's like the goalie's completely out of the play. The puck is literally right there. It's right in front of him. The puck is going towards where McDavid is. I think McDavid was cutting across the net, and then Strome put it in. Or it's backwards. I can't remember. That could be McDavid going across. I can't see exactly. No, I think Strome scored it, so this should be McDavid coming across the crease. Sorry, guys. I'm going for the basis of the call, not exactly who scored it, but he goes across the net, makes contact with the goalie. The puck comes out, and as you can see, right here, he's still in position, in my opinion, to make the save. Now, if this goes 5-hole, I mean, then it's a little different, because I think, obviously, his stick should have been there. But he's still in position to make the save. It does not take him out of the play. He is worried about the player going across the net, while Strome puts the puck into the net, and he's still right there. So I'm not understanding how this can be called no goal. So the Oilers ended up winning in the shootout, I believe, and McDavid said, oh, you better go check upstairs, and then he got fined, or he got like a penalty or something like that during the shootout. But it's just, this call really makes me mad, because the goalie is in play to make this save. It's not fair that this was called back. This could have really cost the Oilers, and they're trying to get every point that they can get. And to me, this call, I guess you could see where there is a little bit of contact, but when is the league going to realize there's going to be contact? You can't always just defend the goalie. And I say it all the time, I'm a goalie. I always am looking out for the best for the goalie, but I don't think in this scenario that this should have been called off. So let's go to the next one. This one's going to be a little bit of a shorter explanation. Now, this one was called no goal as well, and this one this one's kind of where I'm kind of back and forth. So as you can see here in this first picture, there's a Columbus Blue Jackets defender playing against a forward, I believe it's that Raffl from the Philadelphia Flyers, and it looks like Raffl maybe has a little bit of contact with the forward here, and he starts to push a little bit. They're battling out front of the net, and at this point, Bobrovsky, I'm pretty sure who's in net at this point, is in his crease. He comes out to cut it in the second photo, and the player is launched into Bobrovsky. Now, whether or not Raffl actually made that much contact, when I watched the video, it didn't look like he made enough contact to really do too much. Then he was launched into Bobrovsky, and it took him out of the play a little bit here. And it ended up going into the back of the net. They did call this no goal. Now this one is kind of where I can see where the league is coming from, and that's why I want to give examples where it's like I can't just completely disagree, because this play is really tough to handle, because it is a battle where I can see where it is a battle, and you know, sometimes that happens, like I said in the last one. But he is pushed into the goaltender a little bit, creating contact, and the puck went into the net. So I can see, I kind of agree with the NHL on this one. While I do argue battles in front of the net can turn into goaltenders being interfered with, and it shouldn't matter that much, this one kind of makes sense because it did stop Bobrovsky from making the save because his arm was moved and the puck went there. So this one I kind of agree with. So I think they got this one right. All right, this one got me pretty fired up. This one actually really made me mad when I was watching this. I'm not sure if you guys follow me on Twitter, but if you do, I really lost it on this one. So if you guys have watched my other video, I talked about a goal that the Leafs had earlier in the season that was waved off, where Jonathan Quick put himself out of position so that way it looked more like he was interfered with. And then Marner scored. It should have counted. Obviously, it didn't matter in that game, the score, but for this particular game, it mattered. So go back and watch that one if you want to. I talked about how Quick was in position to make the save. So this one I completely disagree with. Obviously, I'm a Leafs fan, but you'll see when I explain. So this was ultimately called no goal. The Leafs were down 2-1 to the Coyotes. I believe there was like 2 minutes left. And here's the first frame here. Ranta's in his net looking to make a save. There's a battle out front. Zach Hyman is driving to the net. You could see I believe you could see Hyman preparing for a pass out front because Matthews is starting to cut around the net at this point, okay? Then we go to the next frame. You can see that Zach Hyman is in between two Coyotes players who are trying to force him out of the way, but Hyman is standing in his place. So he's still there. Then you can see in this shot that there's two Coyotes players, and you can see, if you look at the photo, the one defenseman is looking like he's pushing Hyman into the net. And Hyman, if you see in the last frame, he's got his stick down, and he's holding himself in the hockey position like you're taught. He's pushing him. So Hyman then is being pushed into the goalie, which then is pushing Ranta a little bit into the net. So two guys against one, you're obviously more than likely going to lose a battle like that, especially when you're out front in a hockey position. You know, you can kind of defend yourself a little bit by trying to dig your feet in, but it's not going to work against two huge guys that are coming at you. They play in the NHL. They obviously are a bit stronger than the average guy. So you're getting pushed in, and Hyman is then obviously has a stick there. He has no time to react to, oh, I might push him in, and they're going to call this back. So there he is, obviously pushing him into the net from force from the Coyotes players, okay? All right, then we can see it's working, obviously, a little bit, that the Rant is a little bit slightly out of position. Then we go to Matthews. You can see him wrapping around the net, and Ranta right there, if in my opinion, is still in position to make the save because he is cutting across his crease. Now, if Matthews wraps this around and it goes in, okay, you know what? I could give the NHL the benefit of the doubt. It was close, but there was still force. I'll always be mad because there is force by the Coyotes player. Then you see Ranta is still in position. He obviously is he's slightly out of position because he's not on his feet, but that's his decision. Ranta is still had enough time because Matthews did not do a wrap. He did a full loop around. He went and fully turned his body. So if you watch the replay, he did do a full wrap. So Ranta has time. You can see in the next frame that he is literally right there in position to make the save. Matthews has one of the best shots in the NHL, so that puck was probably going to go in regardless. Then you see the puck in the back of the net, and there he is standing right there, ready to make the save. So the puck is but there it is. The puck is in the back of the net, but he's sitting there ready to make the save. So again, this is another case of a goalie not putting himself in position to not putting himself in a better position to make a save. And this call was complete BS. The league got this one wrong, 1,000,000%. That should have counted, and it screwed the Leafs out of a win because the Coyotes ended up winning. All right, here's another Leaf one. This is the thing. The Leafs were caught in some controversy with these NHL goalie interference calls. So there was a couple that came all at once, so I wanted to make sure I got them in there as well, because this one really frustrated me, and I'll get to that. So here's the first frame. This is Chicago versus Toronto. This ended up counting, okay? This ended up counting. And remember the last one that I just showed you, okay? So you can see the Chicago player. Who is that? Anisimov? Who is that? That's definitely, I'm not even sure who that is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just really frustrated. As you can see, Freddie Andersen is down trying to cover that puck. Now, watch the stick of the Chicago player, okay? This is what really frustrates me. He's starting to get hit. He's starting to make contact with Freddie Andersen's helmet. You see in the next frame, Freddie Andersen's helmet is now moved. He's trying to look forward, but his helmet was moved. Please, all of these examples that I show you, please go and watch the videos. I'll try to provide links, but you can easily search these up by going Chicago versus Leafs goalie interference, Strome OT goal, no goal. Like, you can find these on YouTube easily. Watch the replay. Freddie Andersen was hitting the helmet so bad by this stick that his helmet shifted. And again, I'm a goalie, so this frustrates the heck out of me, because those helmets move so easily, but at the same time, you could see by the contact, his helmet really moved, and it looked like it probably hurt. I was a little bit upset because I thought Freddie might be out of the game. He got hit pretty hard. So at this point, they're also arguing that you could see Polak's arm. Please watch the replay. Polak whiffs the push. He barely gets anything on the Chicago player, like barely touches him, and they're saying that that was the force. Okay, there's literally no way in hell that Polak was the one that caused that. Then him and Hainsey are battling out front or whatever. But he still hits Andersen in the helmet. In my opinion, just like the crap that happened in Winnipeg the other day, where the goalie's helmet was smashed by a stick and the stick snapped in two and the goal still counted, this should have been waved off for slashing. Before the goal even went in, the play should have been dead. This wouldn't have happened, okay? Then we see in the next frame, the puck is starting to, or no, you can't see the puck in this one yet, but it's a huge scrum. Freddie Andersen literally has no chance to get up, and they're telling me that this could have been avoided. You could have stopped this. That is absolute BS. I have been in that crease. I have been in that position. When you try to get up in that position, you're falling back down. There's no way that it's happening. Look at his pad. Look at his right pad. It's completely twisted. You can see by the straps and everything, his skate's not even in the right position. There's no way he's getting up. Let's go to the next frame. The puck is starting to come towards him. Freddie Andersen's got a guy basically right on top of him. And I'm not trying to make this completely on the Hawks because this camera angle's a little deceiving. He's not fully on top of him yet, but he's getting there. The next frame, the puck is in the back of the net. There's a Chicago player on top of him. Please go and watch this replay. This is a BS call. They called this a goal. What should have happened was a slashing call would have blown it dead. But even after review, how do you tell me that a goalie can make this save? It is literally impossible that he could have got up and made that save. There's a difference between one where the goalie is in position and he puts himself out of position. Freddie Andersen literally had no hope in hell to get up from this. It's a BS call. Should have never counted. Alright, this one I'm going to try to make a little bit quicker because it's a two-parter. You'll understand. The Leafs are back at it with these goalie interference calls. So this one was called no goal. So the calls are clearly not going for the Leafs, okay? I wish I could find more where the Leafs are not in it because it just frustrates me even more, okay? So first we see Matthews come into the net. Then, we see Matthews continue to go for the puck and go to the net. Jonathan Bernier already is out of position, in my opinion, because he's right across the net, he's got his arms out, and his stick is way out, okay? See the next play. Bernier is turning, and he's got his stick, and he's putting it in between Matthews' legs. So he initiated the contact. Matthews is not even touching him. So Bernier initiated the contact, okay? The puck goes through his legs, and Matthews is wrapped up in Bernier. So when a player hooks another player, that's a penalty, right? So how come when a goalie wraps his stick around a player, nothing happens? And if the puck goes in, why is it called no goal? This is what I'm trying to figure out here. How come Bernier is allowed to do this and it's Matthews' fault? Oh, he's the one that wrapped himself up with Bernier. BS. Okay? So the puck is there sitting there chilling. Matthews puts it in, And as you can see, Bernier's stick is behind him, but that's not Matthews. That's Bernier flailing his stick around and getting it wrapped up with Matthews. So the puck goes in, they call it no goal. Eventually Matthews scored again and pointed at the net, but the Leafs lost. Really frustrating. Let's get on to the second part of this. Like I told you, this is a two-parter. This is a comparison of almost an identical call, except this went the way of the Vegas Golden Knights. And again, all of these examples, I'm not dissing the team. This is on the league. This is on them and the referees, okay? So as you can see, who is that? It looks like it could be Carlson. I can't remember. I've got my laptop really dim here because I don't want the light to be shining on me too much. I'm just trying to make a point here. So we can see there's a battle out front. Now Bobrovsky, again, is initiating contact by fishing for the puck, or he's going for the puck or whatever, but it's a battle out front. And he, like Bernier, except this time with the glove, sticks his arm around the leg, right? So you see there's contact there. So the Vegas player, what does he do? Just wraps the puck in. As you can see in this one, you can see the puck starting to go in, and it's almost like the Bernier one where he had it wrapped around, but in this time it's his arm, his glove hand. Okay? The puck ends up in the back of the net, and it's a Vegas goal. Now, here's where I'm going to show you the comparison. This is literally the identical shot that I believe Sportsnet provided, where literally it's the exact same thing, but with a different hand. One was a goal, one was no goal. This is the problem with the league. This is a BS call. Which one is right? You need to clarify this, because this is terrible, okay? This is absolute trash, BS crap by the league. I can't stand watching this crap anymore. It's not fun when every time a puck goes in, I literally look to whoever I'm watching the game with and go, well, that's getting called back because these referees apparently don't want scoring. You want scoring to go up, then get some new referees and maybe hire some new people. Here's the last one I'm going to talk about. It's between the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild. So poor Devin Dubnyk is chilling in the net trying to make a save. There's a battle out front, and as you can see by the first shot, I believe it's Nathan MacKinnon, just absolutely dummies. What is that? Brodin. And it looks like he's pushing him into Dubnyk, and Dubnyk's just trying to get to the puck, okay? So as you can see MacKinnon still forcefully battling with Brodin out front, and that in return knocks over Devin Dubnyk. So this contact was not initiated by a Wild player. This was initiated by MacKinnon on the Avs. So the puck is somewhere in that shot, okay? You see them battling, then you see him being pushed into the net. This was a goal. So with all the examples I've showed where there's almost no contact or very little or goalie-initiated contact, you're telling me that a goalie can be pushed into the net after being pushed by an Avalanche player who then pushes a Minnesota Wild defenseman who then hits Dubnyk into the net, and then they shove the puck in, that counts. Like, when are you going to change this? I got this picture up here, Colin Campbell, Senior Executive VP Hockey Operations. He went on Sportsnet and said he has no idea. So if this guy, who clearly has an idea of what is supposed to happen or thinks he has an idea, what's going on here? Somebody needs to fix something, because this is absolute crap. The league needs to do something. Nobody knows what's goalie interference. Nobody knows how the game should be played anymore when it comes to goalie interference. You need to fix something. This is not fun to watch, because every single time there's a play out front, you never know if it's going to count. And the sad part is I touched on what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plays. And yet there's probably 30 other ones I could have talked about. So you guys tell me if I'm wrong, and go and look at some more goalie interference calls, because go and look up the ones I talked about. Please do me a favor and go in there, because I only got screenshots here. Watch the videos of each one and tell me if I'm wrong, because this sucks. And that's all I can say. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have more hockey conversations with you. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.